This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Wednesday, June 23. In Squiz Kids today, Reef report card scores an F. Denmark's reversal of fortune. Ben Simmons Olympics in doubt, and the elephant in the room. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Just as you lot are all preparing to receive your mid-year school reports, Australia received a report from the United Nations yesterday about our management of the Great Barrier Reef, and the report card said, could do better. The United Nations is the name of an organisation which is made up of all the countries of the world. It's a place where decisions are made by countries all together about what's best for our planet and the people who live on it. Yesterday, a committee within the United Nations said that unless some big changes were made to the way that we look after the Great Barrier Reef, it would be placed on an international danger list. Climate change was given as the reason the reef was in danger, as rising sea temperatures have caused no fewer than 3 coral bleaching events in the past 6 years. Coral bleaching happens when the water is too warm and corals spit out the algae that normally lives inside them and keeps them healthy. The government in Canberra wasn't having any of it though yesterday, saying that they were doing a good job at managing the health of the reef and that the warning by the United Nations was motivated by politics, the fact that China sits at the head of the committee, and right now things between China and Australia are complicated. I've stuck a link in today's episode notes to a video explaining coral bleaching.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Denmark, where celebrations are continuing in the capital city Copenhagen after the national football team pulled off a stunning victory to advance to the knockout stage of the Euro 2020 competition. Now, why is this such a big thing? Because 2 weeks ago, in one of their first matches against Finland, the Danish team was rocked when their star midfielder Christian Eriksen collapsed mid-game, having suffered a cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest is the medical term to describe what happens when your heart stops. And not to put too fine a point on it, that is not good. Luckily for Christian and all of his very concerned teammates, he was whisked to hospital where he is now recovering well. Phew. And so for the Danes, which is what we call people from Denmark, to make it to the final 16 is a really big achievement for the country. There's a link to video in today's episode notes to celebrations that occurred when Denmark won the game.
Sport time.
He's one of our most successful basketball exports. He plays point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers, and until yesterday he was all but confirmed to take to the court with the Boomers and compete for gold for Australia at the Tokyo Olympics. So the rumours that were swirling yesterday that Ben Simmons is reconsidering whether he will go to Tokyo and slip on the green and gold left Aussie basketball fans hanging on the edge of their seats. Ben's team were knocked out of the NBA Finals at the weekend, with the Aussie point guard coming under criticism for not playing his best game. Hey, we all have off games. They're just a little harder to justify at the elite level of sport. Australia finished 4th at the Rio Olympics, only just missing out on a medal, a situation they're really hoping to change in Tokyo next month. As they say in the classics, watch this space.
Animal Kingdom.
A family in Thailand got the surprise of their lives this week when they heard noises in their kitchen in the middle of the night, only to discover an elephant had stuck its head through a hole in the wall and was helping itself to a snack. The householders were woken up by the sounds of pots and pans falling from shelves and onto the floor. They rushed into the kitchen to see a full-grown elephant's head poking through the wall, with its trunk searching shelves for something to eat. Gives new meaning to the expression elephant in the room. National park rangers say that wild elephants coming into villages in search of food is common in that part of Thailand, where farmers are often chasing the pachyderms off their property. What's a pachyderm? That's the scientific name for an elephant, and I just like saying the word because I like the way it sounds. Are you getting ready for the school holidays? Woohoo! How good are school holidays? Don't forget, though, to subscribe to Squiz Kids on whatever podcasting app you prefer before you go on holes, because we'll be dropping a couple of school holiday quizzes to keep you entertained. Nah, don't mention it.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. Which famous natural wonder do we need to take better care of according to a United Nations report? That's right, it's the Great Barrier Reef. Question number 2. Which country has just advanced to the final 16 of Euro 2020 after a rocky start to the competition? Yeah, it's Denmark. Question number 3. What sort of animal has been caught raiding a Thai kitchen for a midnight snack? You got it, it's an elephant.
Shout-outs.
It's June 23. Today is Olympic Day, commemorating the formation of the International Olympic Committee almost 130 years ago. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Elsie from Fadden, Henry from Curtin, Liam from West Pennant Hills, Tammy from Callum Vale, Ruby from Malanda, Sahej Bott from Melbourne, Amelia from Bendigo, Max from Albury, Gary from Christie's Beach, Summer from Sheoak Grove, and Molly from Hadspin. And belated birthday shout-outs to Josh from Randwick, Amali from New South Wales, and Sahara from Geraldton. And today's classroom shout-outs go to Class S3K with Mrs. Kenning and Ms. Shackleton from Blackwell Public School, Mrs. T's 4B class and Mrs. Venius's 5B class from Hilliard State School, all the Year 4 kids at Carnaby Rise Primary School, and Class 45T from Glen Innes Public School. And a very special Squiz Kids shout-out to Annemieke and her class group 4 at the Regenborg School in the Netherlands. I hope I pronounced that properly. Regenborg means rainbow in Dutch, and we're delighted to have you listening. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out. Squiz Kids is proudly supported by the Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.